third. A 16th of a mile to run. Central Dispatch, 3-length lead. Oscar Joy, News at 10, both coming, as is Irish Royalty on the far outside. It will be Central Dispatch to get there in front-running fashion. Photo Oscar Joy, Irish Royalty, News at 10.
Nancy Griffith with those blinkers for the late trainer, Mike Mitchell. Best of luck here in race 2.
And they're off. September Magic and Sweet Vengeance both out alertly. Nancy Griffith comes away in third. Marina's Tina's fourth. Cheekiest is 7 lengths off the early speed, and Maturity Date trails. September Magic for Ryan Hansen shows the way into the first turn, leads it by 2 lengths over Sweet Vengeance in second. It's another 4 lengths back. Nancy Griffith guided over to the rail in third, and then Marina's Tina. Cheekiest is second to last, and Maturity Date inches up on the outside. They swing on to the backstretch. September Magic by 2. Sweet Vengeance second, 4 lengths clear of Nancy Griffith. 3/4 back to Marina's Tina in fourth, then Cheekiest and Maturity Date. They're coming to the half-mile pole, and it is Juan Hernandez and September Magic all alone on the front end, maintaining a 2-length cushion. Sweet Vengeance a tracking second. Then Nancy Griffith joined at the rail by Cheekiest in fourth. Marina's Tina fifth, 7 lengths off the lead, and 2 clear of Maturity Date. Around the far turn, September Magic's lead, 3/4 of a length to Sweet Vengeance, inching closer, and now Nancy Griffith set down on the outside for the drive. Cheekiest is down on the inside, and then Marina's Tina. They're a furlong from the finish, and September Magic digs in. Nancy Griffith moves into second. Sweet Vengeance drops out of it, past the 16th pole. September Magic holding on, and it's September Magic. Happy anniversary, Ryan Hansen. A sweep of the double for Juan Hernandez. Nancy Griffith second. Cheekiest finished third. Marina's Tina was fourth.
To see if that was just circumstantial or not. Frank Miramati with the call here.
Bravita Princessa to the outside. And they're off. Maximum Gold and Pura Vida Princessa both out quickly. Here's Cash Call and Ma Wu now coming through very easily. And Ma Wu is up to take the lead from stablemate Cash Call, who's in second. Aunt Mo now moves up to take third. Pura Vida Princessa fourth, 3.5 off the pace. Maximum Gold, who was up close, is now 6 off them. Big gap to the 2 trailers, Rose, and Just As Fancy at the back of the field. Ma Wu leads the way, pressed by Cash Call with 3 furlongs to run. Their heads apart. 3 lengths to Aunt Mo in third. Maximum Gold trying to re-engage at the rail. Pura Vida Princess 3 deep, now 4 lengths off the battle up top. Another 4, Rose A is next. They turn for home. Ma Wu and Cash Call head and head most of the way. Ma Wu digs in. Cash Call now a length and a half back second. They're followed by Maximum Gold and Aunt Mo in the center of the racetrack with some momentum late as Ma Wu has put away Cash Call and opens up 4. It's Ma Wu, very sharp in victory. Ma Wu just coaxed it to the wire. Aunt Mo completes the exact in front of Cash Call, and Maximum Gold was fourth. Tequila and Therapy is the last one to load for the Surfer Girl Stakes. They're in the gate. And they're off. Thought Process is very nice out of the gate. Kasalu comes through to match strides. These two will go stride for stride by the wire the first time. Tequila and Therapy is outside of Tigerish. C'est la vie Charlie is second to last, and slow starting Jack's Magic Girl is the early trailer. Coming to the 6 furlong pole in the favorite Thought Process, could not get an easier lead. Has it by 2 lengths. Tequila and Therapy now shades Kasalu moving into the 2nd spot, followed by Tigerish, C'est La Vie, Charlie right together, 3 lengths back to Jack's Magic Girl. Thought Process and Hector Barrios in charge down the backstretch. They're in front by a length. Now it's a length and a half to Tequila and Therapy in 2nd. Then Kasalu hugging the rail 3rd past a half-mile pole. C'est La Vie, Charlie, Tigerish, Jack's Magic Girl, no change in the running order. They still have to catch Thought Process, the prohibitive favorite, just bounding along under a strong hold as well. Tequila and Therapy pushed along in 2nd. Kasalu at the rail. C'est La Vie, Charlie in the blue colors. Behind them, Tigerish looking for racing room. And Jack's Magic Girl far back, top of the stretch. And Thought Process has opened up a 4-length lead. Kasalu in 2nd. Center of the course, C'est La Vie, Charlie. Tigerish at the rail. But they had no chance. Thought Process in another league. Thought Process wrapped up throughout, scores by 6, and it could have been much, much more. Kasalu was 2nd, Tigerish 3rd in the Surfer Girl. Man, Friday will be the final one to go in. They're off. East Side Cool wins the break. Sakil is up close. So is Nauvoo, flashing his natural early foot. And Man Friday is one from the outside. Down at the rail comes Wind 99, who's 4 lengths off the lead, right next to Low Expectations. And at the back of a compact field is Moody Jim. 6 lengths front to back, and it is Nauvoo who has emerged with the lead. East Side Cole is racing in 2nd, followed by Man Friday on the outside. Sakil is in between those two. Low Expectations is next, only 3 lengths off the lead, while widest of all, leaving Win 99. And Moody Jim continues to trail. Nauvoo and Tyler Bays coming to the half-mile pole, a length and a half to the good of Man Friday in 2nd. Then East Side Cool and Sakil stride for stride. With Low Expectations, Purple Cap, 3.5 or 4 off the lead, 2 clear of Win 99, and Moody Jim has trailed throughout. Less than 3/8 of a mile to go. Nauvoo in front a length. Sakil hard-ridden, trying to get closer in 2nd. Outside of him, Man Friday still in the thick of it. And East Side Cool is just waiting for racing room. He's going to find it shortly. Far outside, Low Expectations. They turn for home. Nauvoo clinging to the lead over Sakil. East Side Cool along the inside. They're in the final furlong. Nauvoo trying to hold off Sakil, who's getting a little bit closer. And here's Sakil within a length of Nauvoo or Sakil. Nauvoo holding on, Sakil surging. Here's the line, Nauvoo got there over a hard trying Sakil. East Side Cool 3rd, Low Expectations was 4th. Racing fans, you still have time to get your Oak Tree Stein presented by Oak Tree Racing Association, where first pick 3 and the late pick 5. And they're off. Cypress Moon is going straight to the front. Blister in the Sun comes away in 2nd, and they're followed by Ashley. Kaylin Dana is at the back of the field. Not a Sinner is down at the rail. 5 lengths off them, passed by Step It Out. And Irish Rose is right at the back with Kaylin Dana. They passed a half-mile pole, and it's a loose lead for Cypress Moon, flashing that zip with a 4-length advantage. Blister in the Sun, trying to close the gap, 2nd by 5. Ashley 3rd in a strung-out field, with Step It Out in 4th. Then comes Not a Sinner, 5th, racing 2 clear of Irish Rose and Kaylin Dana. Cypress Moon, Blister in the Sun looming just a length and a half back at the top of the stretch. Cypress Moon needs to dig in. Now Ashley angles out with her rally, and Not a Sinner is coming too. Here's Not a Sinner trying to time it to perfection on the outside of Ashley. These two go on with it. Not a Sinner and Ashley, and Not a Sinner. Not a Sinner. Very nicely handled to victory by Kimura. Ashley was second. It's a photo for third between Irish Rose and Blister in the Sun. For Shea Brennan, 3-2 still. I'm a bad boy. Final stages of wagering. And they're off. I'm a bad boy, very quick. Poker Night at V's a little faster. And Just Trust Me comes away a close-up third. They're followed by Style Cat fourth. Then comes Panuco racing a joint fifth, passed now by Binging. Shea Brennan off half a step slowly, is moving right into contention now, just 4 off the lead, and It's a Factor is at the back of the field. Just Trust Me comes to the half-mile pole, prompted by Poker Night at V's, who's traveling comfortably alongside second. A length and a half, I'm a bad boy, outside Shea Brennan, who's down on the inside, 3 lengths off the lead, coming to the 3/8 pole. Style Cat inches up outside of him. It's then a gap of 5 to It's a Factor, and Panuco is at the back of the field. Poker Night at V's, I'm a bad boy, moves into second. Style Cat coming after them, 3 deep in third. They are followed by Just Trust Me in fourth. And then it's Shea Brennan fifth. They're coming to the 8th pole. I'm a bad boy in Poker Night at V's. I'm a bad boy, handwritten to the front. Gets a left-handed reminder from Ricky Gonzalez and opens up 2. Poker Night at V's is well clear of the rest. I'm a bad boy. Wins it by 2.5. Poker Night at V's second. Shea Brennan managed third in front of Style Cat. The last one is Cali Cat. And they're off in the Zuma Beach. Sabretooth bounces out quickly, but is taken back. Ivan the Great comes through now to set the pace. Ironman Cal is right up alongside easily, and Cali Cat goes to put some pressure 3 wide. Artislas will settle in a good spot fourth, 4 lengths off this quick early tempo, followed by Sabretooth on the inside of R. Heisman, who's 8 lengths off the lead. The 2 trailers, Kale's Angel and Uncle Evco at the back of the field. It's Ivan the Great onto the backstretch with a 2.5 length lead. Ironman Cal tracking smartly from second. 2 more Artislas racing on the inside of Cali Cat third and fourth. 3 lengths clear of Sabretooth, followed by R. Heisman as they come to the half-mile pole. Kale's Angel second to last. Uncle Evco continues at the back. Ivan the Great, the pacemaker. 2-length lead still on Ironman Cal, waiting his turn in second. Artislas, Cali Cat is in fourth. Then Sabretooth, Whitecap racing on the inside of R. Heisman. Still 2 back to Kale's Angel and Uncle Evco. There hasn't been much change. It's still Ivan the Great, Artislas with a beautiful ground-saving trip, and Ironman Cal on the outside is coming after them now. And Ironman Cal powers to the front, has to deal with Artislas, though. These two are head-and-head coming to the 16th pole, and even Sabretooth angles out, and Sabretooth is coming faster than both. Does he have the time? A driving finish, Artislas, Sabretooth. Artislas held on maybe by a nose in a 3-way battle. Ironman Cal and Sabretooth were right there. 3 of them hit the wire in the Zuma Beach. Scratch 11 and 12. There's a super high 5 carryover of just under $20,000. He's back in, and they're off. Even start, always on key. Honeymoon Suite now flies through very rapidly. And so Honeymoon Suite sets the pace. Dedois moves up to take second. Always on key, and Devil Among Us fourth, 3 lengths off the pace. 3 more to Erebus, racing on the inside of Carol's Comic. Then Three Brothers, Touchdown Brown, 3 deep. And Rogue Sun is at the back of the field. It's Honeymoon Suite heading to the 3/8 pole, leading the way, pursued by Dedois, with Devil Among Us inching a bit closer, just 2 off the pace in third. Then it's Carol's Comic fourth, 5 lengths off the lead. Touchdown Brown is starting to pick up some momentum in fifth, 7 lengths off the pace, 2 clear of Erebus. Rogue Sun is next, and Three Brothers at the back. They turn for home. Honeymoon Suite, Devil Among Us in second. Touchdown Brown, widest of all, continues to make headway in third. A furlong out. Honeymoon Suite, Devil Among Us. Touchdown Brown keeps coming. And Rogue Sun, Touchdown Brown, Rogue Sun. These two are both coming swiftly. Touchdown Brown. Another for Antonio Fresu. Rogue Sun from last into second. Close photo for third. Devil Among Us, Honeymoon Suite, and Erebus. There's a super high 5 carryover of just under 20,000. They're in the gate. And they're off. Satellite Heart, Run a Mile in My Shoes, both out quickly. Lady Montclair is in between them, up to take the lead. Love Our Family is now racing in the 4th spot on the outside of Only Reputation. It's another 3 lengths back to the next flight as they move into the first turn, headed by Quantum Energy, who's down at the rail. Then comes Song of Fire. She's Misbehaving is toward the back of the field in front of 2 of them, Ashley Sandcastle and Smart Monique. Lady Montclair onto the backstretch, leads the way a length and a half, tracked by Run a Mile in My Shoes. The favorite now within 3/4 of a length and moving up comfortably, followed by Satellite Heart in third, and Love Our Family is in fourth. Only Reputation fifth with a half mile to go, 5 off the lead. 2 clear of Song of Fire, outside Quantum Energy. They're joined 3 wide by She's Misbehaving, passing a couple of rivals, 6 off the pace. At the back still, Ashley Sandcastle and Smart Monique. Lady Montclair, Run a Mile in My Shoes, a half length back in second. Those two coming to the quarter pole together. Love Our Family is in third. Down at the rail comes Satellite Heart. She's Misbehaving, widest of all there at the top of the stretch. And Run a Mile in My Shoes pounces and puts away Lady Montclair as Satellite Heart moves into second late. A wall of horses chasing for third. It's Run a Mile in My Shoes, giving Juan Hernandez a triple. Second to Satellite Heart, photo for third. She's Misbehaving in front of Quantum Energy. And on the scene was Ashley Sandcastle to complete the super high 5.
Happy Friday to each and every one of you. So delighted that you decided to join us for this 4-day holiday weekend. And our seminar guest today, she's ridden 311 winners in her racing career. That's 311 more than 99% of us. I think she knows what she's looking at when she's watching race replays and workout videos, both of which we'll do today. Her name, Zoe Cadman. Love, happy Friday. Welcome to the seminar.
Thank you. It's a fun day Friday, and you always make me feel so relaxed. Like I just feel like I should just put my feet up here.
I think it's the Hawaiian shirt, right?
It's been like a long morning. I'll
We've
just put my feet up and we'll have a little chat.
We've got air conditioning in the studio.
Fabulous.
I've got my Hawaiian shirt on. You look marvelous as always. You know, most people, they're very relaxed come Friday, right? Because it's the end of their work week. It's
Right.
the start of our work week. But let's face it, we're very blessed because we get to come to the racetrack and get paid for it.
Could you imagine having an office job? I was just thinking that walking in with the mountains looking so beautiful, and I was like, if I had to work 9 till 5
In an office with a bad boss.
I would be just horrendous. We're so lucky. We are so lucky. I can't bear to be inside at the best of times, but to have to be in an office 9 to 5 would kill me and everyone else around me because I'd be horrendous to deal with.
Let me ask you a work question. What makes a good jockey?
Ooh, what makes a good jockey is quick thinking and foresight.
And being in the right spot at the right time.
Being in the right spot. I think a lot of people get taken up with how good someone looks on a horse, and that definitely helps to kick you off and get you started. But at the end of the day, you need to ride a good race. You have to ride a smart race. You have to put your horse always in the position to win and be able to anticipate what is going to happen in front of you. And that's why Pratt is so damn good.
They say the acid test is if you can ride the turf. Would you agree with that? In other words, is it easy to ride the main track?
Neither one of them is particularly easy.
Easy for me to say.
But the turf is generally bigger fields. You have to think a bit more, and you have to save ground. You can't just go to the lead and think you're going to win the race wire to wire. So you have to save ground, and you have to have some moxie.
I mentioned that you evaluate race replays as well as workout videos. You also evaluate jockeys, and you're now a big-time journalist. And you had Martine Garcia on the TDN show just a few days ago. Tell us about what you and Martine talked about.
Well, I just caught him walking back after his win for Bob Baffert when he won the American Pharaoh. No, it's not the American Pharaoh. What's it called now?
It is the American Pharaoh.
It's still the American Pharaoh. They changed the Oakley.
It goes from Norfolk to Front Runner to the American Pharaoh.
Yeah, and I like that horse kind of going in with Martine to ride because he's one you've got to pedal. And one thing about Martine is that he can pedal one with the best of them.
I think that's why Bob likes him.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to ride and just keep going and keep going. And that's exactly what he needed. And it was good to have him back. I'd looked up some stats on him.
You did, which was very interesting. Share them with us.
And lifetime riding for Bob Baffert. Okay, so Martine going into the day, I think had won 1,820 races. And 480 of those, or 25% of his wins, had been for Bob.
Unbelievable.
Now, he's ridden for Bob sparingly in the last few years. Like last 5 years, I think he'd ridden 11 horses with 13 wins for 69%. So when he rides for Bob, he wins 29% of the time, but lifetime wins, 25% of those have come for Bob. That's a huge stat.
And in the stable note, Zoe, it mentioned that Martine just happened to give Bob a call one morning before the American Pharaoh a few days out. And Bob said, you know what, why don't you come to Southern California and ride my horse? Do you put any faith in that story? You know, trainers, once they open up their mouths, they're usually lying. Well, but, do you buy that story?
No, because he'd ridden the horse at Del Mar.
He sure did.
And I know that Bob had said that Mike Smith was out of town, a few people are out of town, and he wanted someone he could rely on, someone he can trust in. Because when he legs up Martine on a horse, he trusts him and Martine trusts him. So it's mutual, and that's what you have to have when you're riding for someone.
Talk about evaluating things. You also evaluate horses at sales. And during the Saratoga sale, I saw you on video with a very expensive purchase that I believe you were a part of. Tell us about who that purchase was and kind of what you do at the horse sales.
Oh, well, it's really not about me. It's all about Moret. I work for a good friend of mine called Moret Farrell.
You guys have been together for a long time.
Yeah. We've been friends ever since I needed a place to live when I first moved to Lexington in 1996. She was working for Doc Cheney and I was working for Michael Dickinson. So we've been friends ever since, and I help her out when I can at the sales. And she's great. I mean, if you talk about this Into Mischief colt that we purchased from Lane's End for $2.4 million, we purchased an upstart colt from Keeneland for $7,000. So Moret is really running the gamut on
both ends of the spectrum.
Both ends of horses. But this horse is amazing. I mean, when he just came out of the stall, it was like he owned the place. He just stood there going, look at me, peon. Just look at me. And yes, anytime you pay that amount of money, and you outbid Kuma, which Moret did, you never know. I mean, you're buying an unproven horse. Anything can happen. We see it time and time again that most of the Derby winners, you don't buy for more than 500,000. So it's a game of numbers. It's a game of luck. You have to have luck on your side and good people around you.
You mentioned the horse having presence at a young age, obviously, before he even hit the racetrack. When you were riding as a jockey, did you know when you got on the back of a horse whether he felt good or not? Could you almost instantaneous tell whatever body language he was giving you that he was going to put forth a good effort?
The good ones, yes. The good ones, not necessarily that they're going to put forth a good effort, but I worked enough horses in the morning that when you get on one and they blow up, like you know when you work a good horse. Some can fool you. I'm going to be honest. I've been fooled a lot, and so has everybody else.
Kind of like humans, right?
The morning glories, the good-looking guy. You wake up the next morning, oh my God, oh what is that? Yeah. So they can fool you for sure.
You're making my job easy in an interviewer. You mentioned Michael Dickinson. What's he like? He's known as the mad genius to those of us. And I've actually had the chance, believe it or not, I took a ride from the Tucson airport up to the symposium in the foothills, the Catalina foothills of Tucson. Michael and I in my rent-a-car just talking. He needed a ride up there for the symposium. I found him fascinating. You know him certainly better than I do.
Well,
what's he like?
There wasn't a lack of conversation there, was there?
But usually one-sided.
Now, Tom, let me ask you, Tom. So what do you do, Tom? What do you do?
That's what makes him so great.
Yeah. So Michael was...
Did you know him across the pond?
No, he's very good to me. I came over wanting to be a jockey. And when I got to America, I arrived in South Carolina and I was like, where am I? I wanted to go to New York. And this looks like the place I just left. So I worked for him and quickly realized that I didn't know anything about American racing. I didn't know the American style. I didn't know how to read a form. He said, go in 36. I was like, what the hell is 36? 36 hours, 36 minutes? No clue. He put radios on us. He really helped me. And once I left Michael, I just had one other problem. I was illegal. So then I needed to get a green card, which took a long time. And I was quite happy with that. It took me 5 years to get a green card. And that really helped me when I started riding because I wasn't a 16-year-old. I wasn't 18. I was 25. I wasn't going to take crap from anyone. But I had a good head on my shoulders, got all my wild stuff out of the way, and I was good to go.
You mentioned walkie-talkies, and of course, Mr. Baffert uses walkie-talkies with his exercise riders. Did you find that to be a benefit or a hindrance? Because I could see you arguing both sides of that equation.
I think nowadays it's definitely a benefit. With Michael, he liked to talk too much in my ear, and I usually wound up ripping, okay, Michael, that's enough, like pulling it out. Or I'd fall off, and he'd be like, get up, get up, get up. But now, for sure, it's a definite help, especially, we've had some foggy mornings. There's a loose horse. Your trainer can get in your ear and be like, hey, heads up, or pull up. There's a loose horse. There's something going on in front of you. It is a massive help. And a lot of people use them now, like here specifically, Carla Gaines, Tim Yakteen, Bob Baffert, I think Whitey, Michael McCarthy, very sorry. He uses them, and maybe Simon Callahan. So, they're definitely a good tool to use.
Zoe Cadman's a good tool to use. That's because she's going to tell us who's going to win on today's 8-race card. But before she does any of that, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramon and get the early changes on today's 8-race card here at the Great Race Place.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast and the turf is firm. Here are the changes. In the first, we have a program scratch of number 5, Miss Will. First race is the beginning of the early pick 5. Race 2, take out the 4, Sunrise Journey, scratch number 4 out of race 2. The $2 pick 6 begins with race 3. There are no changes. Fourth race kicks off the all-turf pick 3 on races 4, 6, and 8. Also the start of the 50-cent late pick 5. Scratch the also eligible number 10, Cupid's Crusader. In the 5th, number 2, Poncho Barnes, 4 pounds over. Scratch the program scratch of 6, Candy in the Morning. In the 6th, start of the $3 late pick 3 with the player-friendly 15% takeout, no changes. Race 7 starts the $5 late double with the player-friendly 15% takeout. Scratch number 5, Mr. Thirsty. And in the 8th race, the only race that offers a super high 5, no scratches or jockey changes. Enjoy your afternoon at the Great Race Place, where post time for the opener is in 59 minutes at 1 p.m. Let's go back to Quigley's Corner, where Tom's special guest today is Zoe Cadman.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Zoe Cadman. She's part of the Sandia simulcast team. It's our pleasure to have her do some extra work today. And Zoe, you know, we do all this work. We watch workout videos. We watch race replays. We talk to trainers and jockeys. But at the end of the day, we're trying to cash some wagers. And you well know that we have some new wagers here at Sandia that have proven to be very popular. Here they are on the screen. The $5 late double with a $5 minimum and the $3 late pick 3 with a $3 minimum. Both have a player-friendly 15% low takeout. And these are perfectly structured during our program because they're at the end of the day. Our end of the day is the end of the cycle for all of North America. So people who are trying to get out can play these new wagers, the $5 late daily double as well as the $3 late pick 3. Higher minimums, lower takeouts mean better payouts. And then, of course, the one on the bottom, the $2 pick 6, back to the traditional pick 6. All good news when it comes to Sandia. We do listen to the horse players, and this is exactly what they want, Zoe.
15% takeout is nothing to be sniffed at. And I'm really welcoming the $2 pick 6, especially some friends of mine that have been playing it. They're absolutely in heaven.
Well, you have to really be in heaven in order to play it because it's also expensive. And so your friends have to kind of form a conglomerate and basically put in one ticket. That's half the fun, though, arguing who should be on the ticket, who should not be on the ticket. Inevitably, sometimes it leads to the right conclusion or the wrong conclusions, but that's what makes it so fun.
My tickets are usually about $2,000 because I hate kicking anyone off. I'm like, oh, this one might be able to leave them on. Even when it was 20 cents, my tickets were always way too big.
You have to sharpen your pencil when you play these new wagers. But as Zoe mentioned, the takeout is lower, and also the payouts are extreme. Go back and look at the result charts. You'd be surprised how much these new wagers are paying. All right, let's see if we can make some money today, Zoe. Kicking things off in race number 1, which begins the popular 50-cent early pick 5. We're going 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight Calbred fillies and mares. The rails today are at 30 feet. There is one program scratch, the 5, leaves us with a field of 7. The current 4 to 5 betting choice, who is the morning line favorite, is number 6 on the Equinox. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Zoe, we want to watch a replay. That's because 6 of these 7 exit the same race. It was back on Del Mar on September 6th. It was the very first race that afternoon. And the 2 runners I want you to watch are going to break from post positions number 10 and 11. They're going to be wearing saddle cloths 10 and 11. Specifically on the Equinox, the current betting choice in race number 1 today is going to be wearing saddle cloth number 10. And the runner wearing saddlecloth number 11 is going to be number 1 today, Glacier Rim. They'll be caught wide most of the trip. You'd be the judge and evaluate whether or not those performances are good enough today. So let's listen to Trevor Denman describe the action back on September 6th and watch the runners breaking from post positions number 10 and 11.
And away they go. Lady Montclair began well and shoots straight to the front. Tom Starr in the gold is second. On the Equinox and the red blinkers alongside She's Just Grand. Glacier Rim and Shoot for the Sky forced to go a little wide as they all bunched up into that turn. Miss Will in the blue down at the rail is 4 off the leaders. They're going a sensible pace up there. Mania is in the black colours, been followed then by Lita Away. Goro is in the red cap, a good 10 lengths off the leaders. Shoot for the Sky on the far side. And at the back, Tiz Lizette. They move on to the backstretch, and Lady Montclair in front by just about a length. Tom Star's racing along in second. On the far side, on the Equinox, a clear third. She's just grand as the black cap, and Miss Will is in the blue colours. On the far side there, we have Glacier Rim. They've been followed by Manie in the black, who's 7 off the lead. Then we come back to Shoot for the Sky. Alongside Lita Away as the grey. Then Goro back second last, and Tiz Lizette trails. They head past the 3/8 pole, and Lady Montclair kicks on for home. Lady Montclair finds more, opens up to lead by 2. Tom Star being sent after her on second. On the Equinox and the red blinkers coming gamely now to make a race of it. Glacier Rim running on the outside, and then Miss Will the grey. They are homeward bound, and Lady Montclair finds more on the lead. Lady Montclair by 3 on the Equinox, coming gamely in second, but Lady Montclair no intention of slowing down. Well, Lady Montclair and Diego Herrera win it clear. Got close for second. It looked like Miss Will.
Zoe, no one was going to catch Lady Montclair that afternoon down at Del Mar. Went wire to wire, but on the Equinox ran very well, and Glacier Rim caught wide every step of the way. Give us your thoughts off that replay.
I like Glacier Rim in this spot, and I'm going to pick Glacier Rim on top to try and beat the favorite in here. I go 1-6-8-7 in here with Glacier Rim, who's currently at 6-1. Ricky Gonzalez. Now, I have Send on my mind. This horse's best race by far has been on the lead, and that was 2 back when he missed by a nose. She missed, excuse me. She got a wide trip last time. She's drawn inside. The rails are at 38. Ricky, if you're listening, just go. Just go. That is your best way to win the race. As far as the favorite is concerned on the Equinox, I thought ran very well, but I have a feeling if Ricky sends, this horse may be running for second. JJ Hernandez wasn't in love with the last work, but you've got a turf horse working on the dirt. Really ridden hard in that solo workout on the 5th of October. But my faith is in Ricky here. So, Ricky, if you're listening, just go.
6-1 on Zoe's top choice in race number 1. Let's turn the page, take a look at race number 2. Begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the main track for $10,000 claimers. Scratch the 4, Sunrise Journey, leaves us with a field of 7. The runner on the outside, number 8, Cajun Brothers, the 6-5 morning line favorite. Talk to us about race 2, Zoe.
Well, I might be a chalk-eating weasel today. Jeff Mullins won the last race on Sunday. I think he's going to win the second race today with Cajun Brother. Got speed. Ran too good to lose last time out. Top Gun Tommy just shows up at all the wrong places when you don't want him. When you need Top Gun Tommy, he doesn't show up. But Cajun Brother, I believe, is the way to go in here. 6-5 currently on the morning line for trainer Jeff Mullins, who started off the meet really, really well. If he hadn't got DQ'd in the stake the other day, he'd be like batting 500 right now. But that was a deserved DQ. In second place, I'm going to go with the 5 in here. Worth looking for Kelly Bainham. That was a much better than looked effort last time for 7,000. Was a little wide. I couldn't really find any trouble when I looked at the replay. Come on, man, who won that race, came back to win at Los Al in the very next start with a 74 by a speed figure, which is good enough to win that race. The 5th place finisher also came back to win. So if you're looking for a long shot in race number 2, worth looking is definitely worth a look. A little bit lesser of a long shot would be number 3, Wrestler, in race number 2, Zoe. We haven't seen him since April. He's an invader from Texas, and he's got the waiver claim, or the trainer, the connections are utilizing the waiver claim here. First off the claim, they can protect him. He actually likes the main fast track. He's 7 for 9 in the money. It's always hard to evaluate these shippers, particularly when they're working at Los Al. You give this son of Golden Sense any little bit of a look? The only thing I could really look at with him is his numbers are pretty good. And he's never run at Santa Anita, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. He might love it. But it's a different surface as well. It's a different surface. You know, he's run well at Houston. The surface at Houston, I've ridden there, is a deep, kind surface. It's forgiving. It can post some quick times, but it's a little bit on the deeper side. So I don't believe Razzler should have a problem with the track.
8 and 5 in race number 2. Let's look at the first leg of the $2 pick 6. That would be race number 3. We're sprinting 6 furlongs on the main track for maiden claimer. $20,000 is the claiming tag. Field of 8, number 6. Okasik is the 7-5 morning line favorite from the George Papadroma barn. George, you got off to a hot start week 1, I should say. Week 2, not so much. Expecting to rebound here?
No, I don't. And I think he'll run well. I really do. Do I look smarter with my glasses?
You do, much smarter.
I can see it helps. I like the 8, Cangrejo, for Francisco Garcia. Now, this horse worked and set the pace for another horse. We're not going to show this work because this horse is in for a tag. I thought ran okay for 40, drops in for 20, set the pace for another horse, and that other horse could not catch him. He worked really, really well with September 64. He's a maiden by Omaha Beach. I like Cangrejo in here at a big price.
What about number 2, Tommy the Train, who we can see you have second? The Connections paid $235,000, but now on debut they had him for $20,000. How do you evaluate that from a handicapping standpoint? Besides the obvious.
I mean, how do you ask trainer Tim Yakteen? He's going to look at you like you're a moron.
Well, we can ask Millie Ball.
She's not going to tell you.
No.
I don't know what to think. I picked him second. He could park. You might not be able to find him with a search warrant. He comes in with some good works, none of which we seem to have on XBTV. But I mean, 47 and 4, 102 and 3, 47 and 4, a minute at the gate at Del Mar. I mean, those should be good enough to win a maiden special weight, let alone a maiden $20,000 claimer. They paid $235,000 for him. It's not like he's 5 years old and they're dropping him in for $20,000. He's 3, so I don't know.
Speaking of trainers, let's take a look at race number 4. That's because Phil D'Amato trains 2 in the race. I'll get to his 2 runners in a minute, but race number 4 begins the 50-cent late pick 5. Also the $3 all turf pick 3, and we're going a mile and an eighth on the turf course. $25,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Scratch the 10 leaves us with a field of 9. Phil D'Amato does train one of his 2 runners is the morning line favorite, number 4, Spagalito, who's 5-2 on the morning line. Now I keep mentioning Phil D'Amato's name. You know the reason why I'm doing that. Why am I doing that?
Because Phil D'Amato going into today's race might not win another race for 2 weeks, because that's usually what happens when we start talking about it. Phil currently sits at 998 wins. Now, he started training in 2010. He took over Mike Mitchell's stable in 2013, and it's been guns blazing ever since for trainer Phil D'Amato. I think he runs 1 at Keeneland Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and he's got 4 in today, barring scratches. So it possibly
the one yesterday didn't win, so he's still on 998. Like you said, that losing streak. Yeah, you know, you might look smart, but every once in a while, I got to help you out a little bit.
Days of the week are problematic for me. They are very problematic for me.
So who do we like in race 4 and why, Zoe?
Spagalato for trainer Phil D'Amato. I'm going to put him at $9.99 in this race. Went a good clip last time they did, and I believe he's the way to go. There was no excuse for him last time out. He's dropping down. Phil needs to win some races. He started off the weekend on a duck head, opening week on a duck egg, and has since picked it up 7 for 36. So this is the class of the field as far as I'm concerned. Would I be a little bit concerned about the cutback in distance to a mile and eighth? $20,000 claimers going a mile and eighth is like an allowance horse going a mile and a quarter, a mile and 3/8. So I'm not really worried about that whatsoever. I believe he's the horse to beat in here. I put Night Out 1-2 for Phil in second for Phil D'Amato. Another one dropping down in class of 3-year-old colt. Buy More Than Ready, and we'll pick up JJ Hernandez. I didn't know what to think about Ryan Hansen's horse, Babakeo, who has run well. He's liable to show some speed from the rail. I like the rider.
Let's talk about the rider for a minute. You know a lot about this rider. You see that the rider is a 5-pound bug boy, but he's not a young man.
No, he's not. He's 36 years young.
He used to be an exercise rider around this neck of the woods way back when.
He did. He was a very good rider, rode primarily for trainer Kristen Mulhall, John Sadler, Simon Callahan, was always working the horses, good on a horse, good in the mornings. And his girlfriend, Sophia Banderella, went to New Orleans to the fairgrounds and actually was very successful. She's riding in Remington Park right now. They actually just got engaged. And she said to
You
him,
never know what you're going to learn when you watch
she
the
said to him,
seminar.
what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? So he lost the weight. He's worked very hard at his weight because he's a very muscular young man. So he's down to about $114 when he walks into the jocks room.
Didn't he ride at Canterbury Park and do quite well?
Yeah, he rode at Canterbury, won 68 races
Strong
there.
with that.
One of the leading riders. Yeah, really, really good. Rides a smart race. He almost won his first mount here for trainer Tim Yackty. Rides a smart race. He's good in the finish, and he's got a good head on his shoulders. So if you're looking for a bug boy, I could not talk you off of him.
Let's take a look at race number 5. Begins the 50-cent late pick 4 sequence. We're on the main track, 1 mile of the distance. Main claimer, fillies and mares in for a $20,000 tag. Scratch the 6, leaves us with, leaves us with a field of 7. Number 7, Girl Can't Help It, who sometimes has big problems getting out of the starting gate, is the 6-5 morning line favorite for trainer Gary Mandela. Is today graduation day for Girl Can't Help It?
No.
Boo.
I know, but she can't get out the gate.
I know.
She just gives him a head start every single time. It's like me getting out of bed actually, I'm good at getting out of bed in the morning. But yeah, no, I'm going to try and go with Auditory for Francisco Garcia, former assistant for Mike Pipey in here.
You're predicting he's going to have a big day today.
I am. Look at the maiden race. Look at the horses that came out of that maiden race. Hope Road. Now a grade 3 winner, won the last 3 on the bounce.
She's okay.
My Magic Filly won the grade 3 this past weekend, won her last 3 in the bounce.
She's okay.
Normandy Queen won her next 2.
She
was well beaten that day. She's coming out of a key race. She's dropping in for 20,000. I believe she's going to park.
Would you claim her?
I'm not claiming anything.
But I'm saying, would you? I mean, she's an interesting potential purchase. They only paid $50, so it's not like they're giving her away if she wins and gets claimed, and she might be a productive filly.
She's liable to get claimed out of this
She's never worn blinkers. You know, there's a lot of different things you could do. She's never tried long on the dirt.
Does she have blinkers on?
No, she doesn't. I'm just saying in terms of upside. In terms of upside.
I got you.
Things you could do if you wanted to claim her.
Yeah, I think she's by far the best filly in here. So I like Auditory in here. There's many ways to go in this race, if you're being honest. I was interested in Pancho Barnes, so I actually asked Jess, but then I ran into Phil D'Amato yesterday morning, I do believe, and I'm like, who's A Jasmine or Hasmin? And he said, that's Raheem. So Raheem's, and he actually just galloped by on this very horse, Pancho Barnes. He goes, that's him right there. I'm like, perfect timing.
Visiting us from Bahrain.
Meant to be. He gallops for Phil, and he rides in Bahrain. So basically, he's worked it out to gallop half the year for Phil, and then he goes back to Bahrain. Did I say that? Bahrain. And rides over there.
And he has 1 mount at the meet so far, and he rode for Ron Ellis. And
Ellis.
God bless him. He's pursuing his dreams, and it's great to have him here while they're not racing in Bahrain.
And that horse will carry 125 pounds. So good luck to Raheem.
Race number 6 begins the new wager, the $3 late pick 3 with a low 15% takeout. And we kick off the $3 late pick 3, sprinting 6 furlongs on the turf course for Calbred, fillies and mares, allowance optional claiming types, non-winners of 1 other than, a good field of 8. Number 5, Nini Diamond is the 5-2 morning line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, Zoe, I want to watch the replay for Nini Diamond's comeback race. This was again in early September at Del Mar. She's going to break from the rail. You're going to see that Juan Hernandez, her jockey that day, had to steady a couple of times right out of the gate. The other disadvantage she had is during the Del Mar summer meet, they ran 47 turf sprints at Del Mar. Only 2 winners were produced out of post position number 1. So she was disadvantageous for a number of reasons, including not being seen since February of 2023. I thought it was an excellent performance. You be the judge. Let's listen to Trevor Denman describe the action of Nini Diamond breaking from the rail back on September 5th.
And away they go. Leaping in the air was Blackjack Betty, was off slowly. Long May She Rain takes the early lead, but Nini Diamond is keen to go on down at the rail up alongside Diamond Bar Gal in the white blinkers. On the far side, we have Square Tomato. Down at the rail comes Giant Kid. Then we drop back to Bold Choice, a good 8 lengths off these leaders. Big Celebration last. Into the turn they go. Long May She Rain down at the rail. Diamond Bar Gal right up alongside. 2 back to Nettie Diamond coming after them from 3rd. Giant Kid in the red colours races 4th, and behind us Diamond Bar Girl. They come to the top of the lane now. Let's see. Nettie Diamond trying to come after them on the outside, but not quite doing enough. Getting the lead now as Diamond Bar Gal starts to pull clear. Diamond Bar Gal. Now Nettie Diamond getting going. Nettie Diamond coming later. Diamond Bar close. Diamond Bar.
Zoe Diamond, as we can see on the gallop out, certainly thrived at 5 furlongs. Today's distance here at St. Anita is 6 furlongs. Every indication are she should improve second off the layoff with the additional distance. Juan Hernandez sticks around to ride, but you're going for an upsetter. You do like Diamond, but you like one other filly to beat her.
Can I change my pick? I like the filly towards the outside. Proof She Zips from Michael McCarthy. 8th beaten 6.5 lengths. I'll Have Another Kiss, who was second in that race, came back to win. Headed for Arm, came back to win as well. That was back in April. I believe she runs fresh. She's almost a stakes winner, and she cuts back in distance today. And she's also run very well at 6.5 furlongs.
She's been training at San Luis Rey. Have you ever been to San Luis Rey Downs, Zoe?
I love San Luis Rey.
Tell us why.
I love it's quiet. I mean, you could gallop a horse at San Luis Rey.
Well, be careful.
I mean, you really could. Well, no one would see it as well. That's the good thing. It's a lovely, kind surface. It's a little on the deeper side. So when you see works like a minute flat, a minute at San Luis Rey, you know that horse is doing very well. It's a great place to leg up a horse as well. And for the horses, it's quiet, it's serene, other when those horrible fires went on down there. But it's a beautiful place to train a horse, and it's a wonderful place to gallop a horse. I've never known anyone that rode down there or kept horses down there that didn't like it. And you've got options. You've got the sand in the back. You've got little paddocks to turn out. You can swim them. There are many different things you can do at La Salle.
At San Luis Rey, very different than a major racetrack like San Anita, where there's a lot of activity, a lot of noise, a lot of hustle and bustle.
It's good for nervous fillies, like that filly of Boltz's, A.G. Bullet. She thrives down there.
And look what's happened.
She might be an absolute nutcase if she was training at a regular racetrack every day.
And for us handicappers, more importantly, trainer Michael McCarthy has had a number of winners this year that have trained exclusively down at San Luis Rey Downs and then emerged victorious either here at San Anita or at Del Mar. Race number 7 begins the other new wager that San Anita offers. It's the $5 late daily double. Once again, a low 15% takeout, and we kick things off going 5.5 furlongs on the main track for Calbred Maiden Claimer 2-year-olds. $50,000 is the claiming tag. Scratch the 5, Mr. Thirsty. Number 8, Silverado Storm is a first-time gelding. Number 7, Mr. Machu Picchu is the 8-5 Maury Line favorite. Before we get your thoughts on the race, I have a question for you. How effective, if at all, is a first-time gelding in terms of making it become a better racehorse?
It depends how long they've been gelded for. It really does. So horses are gelded for many different things. Either they're a-holes and they need to come off, they're super studdy and they need to come off, or 3, they're too fat. Like a lot of the times you can train a horse, a big stud horse, and they just get bigger and bigger and bigger like this. So there's 3 different things. So it really depends the reason why you're cutting a horse. If the horse is an a-hole, you're going to need a little bit more time for that testosterone to get out of their system. Generally, rule of thumb, at least 8 weeks. Okay. For it to really take charge and have them developmentally be a little bit better. And it also gets the weight off of them, and that can take 6 to 8 weeks as well. 7's
the favorite, 8's the first-time gelding, but who do you like and why?
I am going to go against the grain here and go with one of Richard Boltz's, and that is the 3, Citizen Barrett. Now, Boltz's not having a good time with his firsters. What's the stat? He's like 0 for 14 or something ridiculous. He's by Governor Charlie, who was second on debut, out of Wild Baby Girl, who won on debut. So half to Lily Babe. If you ask Jessie Piper about Lily Babe, she'll be like, oh, I love Lily Babe. Let me show you some pictures of my Lily Babe. Well, that's now her riding horse, who she jumps.
Wow.
Ricky Gonzalez used to ride her for Kristen Mulholland, and she won her first 2 starts. So this is a half-sister. You get Ricky Gonzalez to ride the half-brother to his favorite horse, Lily Babe, who is in Jess Piper's barn right now.
And you get 12 to 1.
It's been working very, very well from a very productive family. Now, I haven't quite managed to hunt down Richard Boltz's to ask him. I'm sure he'll cold water me, but he's got to start winning in first-time starters soon.
When you say hunt down, it brings up an interesting question because you do a lot of paddock interviews. Do trainers tend to walk away when they see you heading their way, or do they kind of embrace you, or is it an individual case-by-case basis? I don't know. That's why I'm asking the question.
I'm quite a fast runner when I have to be.
I see you've got some sneakers on today.
Yeah, I've got my runners on. Most people are good, honestly, and I try not to bug.
But others are superstitious.
Trainers.
Let's be honest, right?
Some are superstitious, and to be perfectly honest, I would much rather grab an owner or somebody because they like it and we like it. We need to get more owners into the game.
Very fair point.
Put it out there and show basically the world what a wonderful game we have.
But the other job is to get as much information as you can.
It is, and I can get that from the trainer, and we can relay it that way.
Is Richie in the former category or the later category? You think he'll?
Richie's good.
Okay.
He's good.
Okay, good. All right, race number 8 closes out the day, but keep in mind, as I mentioned at the opening, we have 4 days of holiday racing here, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Tomorrow's card, we've got 9 races beginning at 1 o'clock. But first things first, half hour before the Dodgers' first pitch is race number 8, 4:30 p.m. Pacific time.
Are you going?
I am not going because there's not enough time. I was offered to go on the way over, believe it or not. But work before play, that's my motto.
I mean, you could go and catch halftime. Did they call it halftime? Is it halftime?
But it's close enough. It's close
The
enough.
last inning,
It would be halfway through the game.
Yeah.
But that's no fun. And baseball is much quicker now.
It's much quicker.
Yeah.
I like baseball.
You do?
I
Okay.
like watching baseball.
All right. Well, we like your opinion on
Go
race
Cubs.
8. Race number 8 offers $1 super high 5 wagering. We've got a field of 8 going 1 mile of turf course at starter allowance types. Morning line favorite number 3, Lahaina Flavor, who is putting blinkers on for trainer Patty Gallagher. 7-5 on the morning line. Once again, Zoe, courtesy of our friends at xbtv.com. We want to watch a work, which is a very compelling work for number 4, Phosphorescence. This work, and you can see she's down on the inside, was back on October 5th, just 6 days ago. And you talk about a textbook work here where time doesn't tell the story. This, as we continue to watch the work, in my opinion, is rather breathtaking.
JJ Hernandez down on the inside. Now, Calmate on the outside was actually second on debut in a maiden special weight at Los Al. So not working against the $20,000 claimant, but just check out JJ Hernandez and the body language of him and this 4-year-old gelding by City of Light. Now, he's got a bit of a turfy action, but JJ is never moving. JJ is actually very good at getting the times right as well. Not moving at all, still as a statue there, feet on the dashboard and phosphorant just galloping along. This is everything that you want to see from what is a maintenance work at the end of the day. They don't need to go that much faster. You only get paid in the afternoons, not the mornings. But I love this work. So I have phosphorant on top at odds of 3-1. As far as Lahaina Flavor is concerned, I don't know about Lahaina Flavor. I can't find his last win on my past performances.
March of this year at Santa Anita in a starter allowance.
He's got to come. There's not that much speed.
Well, that's the
here.
problem, right? And particularly the way this turf course is playing with the warm temperatures, come from behind runners on the turf or the main track seem to be disadvantageous, and there's not a lot of early speed in here to flatter his leg kick.
I'm with you. So I actually have the 8-second in here, Jack Kerouac for trainer Peter Miller. 3-year-old facing older. We'll see what Circle of Champions does. If Circle of Champions runs well in an earlier race, I might have to put him on my ticket too.
Zoe, we've had way too much fun, and we could continue all day long, but unfortunately,
We're going to.
Well, sort of, but we've got a break for announcer Frank Miramati, and then basically for some of our other colleagues who are going to introduce the 8-race card. But thanks so much for your time and laughter and jokes today. You really know how to enjoy life, and it puts a smile on my face. So best of luck today, and again, thanks for the time, Zoe.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks,
Always a pleasure.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll hear Frank Miramati update us with any scratches. Have a great afternoon, everybody, and good luck.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for our national anthem. Good afternoon and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast, the turf is firm, and the track conditions are brought to you by John Deere. Here are the changes on the program. In the first program scratch at number 5, Miss Will, the 50-cent early pick 5 starts with race 1. Race 2, take out number 4, Sunrise Journey, early pick 4 starts with race 2. The $2 pick 6 starts with the third race, no changes. In the fourth, number 1, Ubu Bakakeo, 1 pound over. Scratch number 10, Cupid's Crusader. The late pick 5 and $3 all-turf pick 3 starts with race number 4. In the fifth, number 2, Pancho Barnes, 4 over. Scratch 6, Candy in the Morning. Late pick 4 starts with the 5th. The $3 all-turf pick 3 second leg is race 6, which also starts the late $3 pick 3 on races 6, 7, and 8. No changes. In the 7th, scratch 5, Mr. Thirsty, the new $5 late double starts here. And the 8th, the only race with a super high 5. Just the one blinker no. Have a great day at Santa Anita Park. 26 minutes to the opener.